Welcome back to my channel. You already know it's your boy Hood Diggity, the Rock Reactor, back with another video. Yes, sir. Before I proceed, let me know where you tapping in from. Let me know what country, what city, what mountain, what hill, what cave, what island, what planet, what universe. Let me know where you at. Represent your hood. Yes, sir. We got today's news now. ICE and Customs and Border Patrol speak after deadly shooting involving federal agents. I got two videos on this one. After this, I'm going to react to one. This one is, I guess, ICE and, the other side of the coin. The other one is the other side of the coin, the protesters' side of the coin. Guys, no matter what, we need to understand, this is just my opinion, we need to understand that people are getting killed. Citizens are getting killed, guys. So I think something's wrong. We need to stop faulting. We need to stop defaulting. And we just need to, well, the leaders basically. We need to realize people are dying. People are getting killed in the streets by authorities. That's a problem, guys. Whose fault is it? I think we should put that on the side and work on our solution to stop this. Let's get right to it, guys. And before we do, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Any donations to my channel will be greatly appreciated. My PayPal account is on the screen. Let's talk about it.
My name is Greg Bovino, Commander at Large for CBP Assets here in Minneapolis. I'd like to take a few moments here before we take questions and before we hear from my colleague, Mr. Marcos Charles, to talk about a subject that I think is very important given the events over the past couple of days. And that topic is the topic of choices. Choices. Now, choosing or making a choice is one of the only true freedoms that any of us really have, is to make a choice. Whether that's the choice to be here today as the media, the choice to go to school, join the military, join law enforcement. Making a choice is a freedom that resides within us. Now, good choices are important in life, as we all know. And many actions that take place are due to our choices. The choice to, say, cross the border illegally, that is a choice that someone makes. To cross the border illegally, that's a choice.
For his defense, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. You made a choice to cross another country, to cross the border of another country illegally. And you need to assume responsibility for that. So far, I agree with him.
The choice not to utilize the CBP Home app, that's a choice. Not standing in line and doing it the right way, that is a choice. And there are always actions that result from our choices.
I agree with them 100%. Not standing in line and waiting for your turn. You guys know I've always said that it's not fair for someone to just cross the border just because you got kids and you got families and we're breaking up families. There are people that are here in my country now and in other countries all over the world waiting to get visas. There are people that are not going to be able to go in legally because the paperwork has stopped. Everything has stopped because of all the illegal immigrants in the United States. That is not fair. Those people have families. Just because you have families and you have kids, those people have kids too. And they're breaking up families because there's somebody in the state that's working hard and spending all this money, having their wives and their kids in another country. That splits up the family, but they're doing it the right way and they're waiting their turn in line.
Choice not to utilize the CBP Home app, that's a choice. Not standing in line and doing it the right way, that is a choice.
I agree with
and
him.
There are always actions that result from our choices.
I agree with him.
When you choose to use your 5-year-old child as a shield to evade law enforcement, that is a choice that someone makes. And there are actions and consequences that result from that choice. Or when
That needs to be determined. That is not necessarily a fact. That is just their side of the story, guys.
You're a politician or a community leader. You make a lot of choices there, some very important, wide-ranging, and in-depth choices. When, as a politician, if you choose collusion and corruption as a choice, then there are consequences and actions that take place because of that. That's one reason the U.S. Border Patrol and ICE are here in Minneapolis by the thousands, is because of those choices. When politicians, community leaders, and some journalists engage in that heated rhetoric we keep talking about, when they make the choice to vilify law enforcement, calling law enforcement names like Gestapo, or using the term kidnapping, that is
freedom of speech. Freedom of speech.
It's a choice that is made. There are actions and consequences that come from those choices. And then when you choose, when
the last time I remember in America, you can say whatever you want.
someone chooses to listen to a politician, a so-called journalist, a community leader that spouted that type of vilification towards law enforcement or anything else, when you choose to listen to that, that is a choice, and there are consequences and actions there also. I think we saw that yesterday. And those actions and choices can obviously have tragic consequences, bad outcomes, outcomes that law enforcement never wants to see. Law enforcement never wants to see a bad consequence due to a poor choice. Now, these choices have reverberations throughout society. Let's take a look at, go ahead and put that on the screen, please. Yesterday, Border Patrol agents were engaged in a targeted law enforcement effort to apprehend this individual here, Mr. Jose Huerta Chuma. Look at his criminal record: domestic assault, intentional infliction of bodily harm, disorderly conduct. He's also got some other records there as well. This individual remains at large today. This individual is still roaming the streets today. This is the individual on that targeted law enforcement efforts that Border Patrol agents were engaged in yesterday when they were disrupted, assaulted, and prevented from conducting that Title VIII mission by individuals intent on making the choice.
It makes me sick what he's saying. See, right now he's making me sick, guys. He said that this is the individual that they stopped from getting because they made a choice. You can clearly see the ICE agent or the Border Patrol agent, whatever, come up to the I guess it was a female, and just push her. And there was like about 5 feet, maybe 10 feet away from them. And they just came up to them and started pushing them. And Pretty just was, this is what I saw in the video. He was just basically trying to defend her and get in the way. And then that's when they grabbed him. But they wasn't over there. They came to them.
To riot, to create anarchy, and to be a violent mob. This individual walks the streets today because of those choices made by politicians and those perhaps weaker-minded constituents that chose to follow directions of those politicians. Sad state of affairs.
And it's crazy how they're pushing that narrative that these are paid, that protesters, which you have the right to protest. Last time I checked in the United States, you have the right to protest. Of course, you don't have the right to obstruct. You do not, but you have the right to protest. So they're changing the whole narrative and calling the protesters, they're calling them paid agitators.
Now, enforcing the law is not a choice. I choose to be a Border Patrol agent. Mr. Marcos Charles chooses to be an ICE agent, but enforcing the law, that's not a choice. That is a duty. As we all know, those laws were enacted by Congress, signed by the executive, and upheld most of the time by the judiciary. Those are the laws of our land. That is our duty to enforce those laws, whether that's a Title VIII immigration law, whether that's chasing a bank robber or a spy or whatever.
Yeah, but when you enforce the law, did that give you a license to be above the law?
Whatever else.
Something else is that ICE agent or Border Patrol agent made a choice. He made a choice to shoot the man and kill somebody, kill a civilian, kill the citizen, when apparently he had no gun in his hand because they had already taken the gun away. And they had 3 or 4 people. How do you explain that choice?
That is our...
Three or four agents on top of him, and you still, he's on the ground, and you still shoot him. Isn't that a choice? That's a choice that should have consequences. You have people on the ground. There's videos of people, excuse me, of people on the ground. And you guys are tasing them. You guys are gassing them. People that are apparently not any type of threat. How do you explain that choice? That choice doesn't have a consequence?
Or duty, whether it's a state and local law enforcement agency, and they make choices also. Do they support federal law enforcement going after Mr. Jose Huerta Chuma, or do they not? We all make choices. Our Title VIII immigration mission.
He's trying to act like Freddie and the other lady that was there, whoever was there, was actually protecting the Guetta or whatever. They didn't even know what he was after, and they was 10 feet away. What video did he see? Did he see a video? Maybe he saw a different video.
Continues. Next slide. Our Title VIII immigration mission continues unabated here in Minneapolis, despite yesterday's tragedy that was preventable by folks making better choices, politicians, journalists, and would-be anarchists and rioters. This individual...
Would-be anarchists and rioters. Guys, this is going this is going the wrong way, guys. This is gonna, you know what's crazy? That this is gonna spill all over the country, and this is gonna affect in some way, shape, or form. Eventually, this could affect all of us here in this hemisphere.
From Laos was apprehended within the past 24 hours. This operation continues unabated. This is evidence of that. We will continue to make these streets a safer place. It is our duty, because we choose to be Border Patrol agents and ICE agents, to take individuals like that off the streets so we can make Minneapolis and America a safer place. Thank you.
You're definitely doing a bad job of making America a safer place. You're definitely not doing a good job making America a safer place, shooting citizens in the middle of the street in the middle of the day.
Huerta Chuma, by the way, was in federal immigration.
Hold on questions until the end. Mr. Marcos Charles will talk, and we'll take questions at the end, ma'am. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I know Commander Bovino spoke about yesterday's incident and situation, but I also want to draw your attention to the continued uptick in violence we're seeing against federal law enforcement officials, not just here, but across the country. Yesterday, here in Minneapolis, a crowd of violent agitators tackled an ICE special agent when one of our special response teams went to assist. A protester literally bit off part of that agent's finger. The officer received immediate medical attention on the scene and was transported to the emergency room for treatment. We do want to thank the people at the hospital for the assistance and the staff who treated our officer. The officer is recovering, but is now permanently maimed and has lost part of his finger. I don't think I have to tell you that this kind of violence is unacceptable, but I also don't think I need to tell you that this kind of violence is not a coincidence. When sanctuary politicians, activists, and the media work hard to create chaos and fear instead of using their platforms to reassure their communities this is the result. The reality is,
but basically what they're trying to say is that this is all political and these are paid agitators by politicians, and that this is all paid and this is all a big plot to stop them from doing their work. I don't believe that, guys. I have a problem with that. I don't believe that. Maybe I am wrong, guys. Please. I am not trying to be on each side. There's some things that I agree with these guys, and there's some things that I don't. Guys, like I said, I am totally for arresting illegal immigrants, whether they're criminals or not criminals, or you in the country illegally in any country. You need to be deported back to your country. It's just that simple. We don't care if you have kids, don't care about your situation. You made a choice to enter the country illegally, which makes it unfair for people that are in other countries waiting in line for 5, even 10 years. It's not fair that you just walk in and you're going to get a slap on the wrist. And it's not fair, of course, that you actually go in and do what the fuck you want and commit crimes and hurt other citizens in that country.
and this is what Commander Bovino and I have been talking about all week. We're out here to arrest dangerous criminal illegal aliens so they can't victimize innocent people in our communities anymore. Since the beginning of this operation, we've arrested over 3,400 illegal aliens, removing criminals, gang members, and terrorists out of Minnesota communities, detaining them in ICE custody for removal from the country. Those are criminals who won't reoffend in our communities. Those are criminals who won't be creating more victims that could be one of your family members or loved ones. Some of these criminals that we arrested yesterday are on the scene, well, these are our agitators from yesterday, if anybody wants to take a picture of these people or haven't seen them yet. The first picture was the individual who decided to bite off one of our agents' fingers. Some of the criminals we arrested yesterday.
I'm surprised he's still alive. I'm surprised the one that bit the finger, I'm surprised he's still alive. I'm surprised that he shoot him in the head too.
40-year-old criminal illegal alien from Honduras convicted of assault. A 51-year-old criminal illegal alien from Laos convicted of assault also. A 45-year-old criminal illegal alien from the Ukraine convicted of first-degree robbery. And a 46-year-old criminal illegal alien from Laos who is convicted of facilitating child sex crime.
Wow. He should get executed, in my book.
ICE officers and agents are out there every day arresting the worst of the worst so law-abiding citizens in this country and in Minnesota can sleep easy at night. This work isn't about headlines. It's about public safety. We can now take some questions.
Commander Rubino.
Guys, I don't, like I said, their objective, I totally agreed with their objective, their goal, but I do not agree with their tactics. I believe that they need to turn down the heat, giving ICE agents and Border Patrol agents immunity and saying, like I heard in another video, that those cases, especially the one Pretty's case, that's a federal case and the state cannot investigate it. And I heard also that the U.S. the U.S. Attorney General came out and said that there's nothing to investigate, that's it. That's just whatever happened. And I'm saying it in my own words. This cannot be it, guys. In other words, there shouldn't be any investigation. There shouldn't be any type of consequences. I mean, Brovino was just talking about a choice. That agent made a choice, and there should be consequences. This should be investigated fully, just like any agent or any officer shooting a citizen. Somebody died. A citizen died. A good standing citizen died. This guy was a good standing citizen. His life was taken. He has family. And guys, I'm going to say something that I wanted to say, and this is important. those of you who are actually supporting this, supporting the fact that this should not be held, they should not be held accountable, supporting the fact that, you know, if you support this bullshit, guys, I'm gonna have to say this. If you support the fact that that they're getting more immunity, that they're doing what they want, they're going up to people, pushing them, and just spraying them with gas for no reason, because they're watching and filming. Like, you don't see them attacking them. I seen them spray these two girls or these two ladies. They were just standing there talking, and they just sprayed them. They were talking. They never raised their hands. They never touched them. So why would you do that? I mean, they're basically operating with immunity, with impunity. This is not the America I know. And I'm going to say something for those this is to those who are actually supporting this, those who agree with this. You're probably doing it because it hasn't hit home. That's all I'm going to say. Let's continue.
In federal immigration custody in 2018 in a jail in Minnesota, and then was released under the Trump administration again in 2018. You talk about choice. That was also a choice to release this individual, the man that you were targeting, obviously, to detain him. So if he was released in 2018 from federal immigration custody, why would that be the case? Why was that choice made?
Yeah, I don't know the particular case in 2018 that you're talking about, but this individual that if you want to put that back up there, please. That individual is now an illegal alien. It's my mission to find this illegal alien before he harms another American citizen and does harm. That's what I'm after there. And we can go back and look and blame in history. Right now, my mission is to take this individual off the street. And the main point here being is this individual is in the process of being taken into custody. Agitators, rioters, and anarchists prevented us from taking this individual into custody because of a very, very chaotic scene. This individual should be in custody right now, not out on the streets preying on Americans. That is the story that is most poignant here.
Commander Rubino, hi. Shooting from yesterday, and at no point is he seen Brandon.
I'm sorry. Repeat that, please.
We have seen multiple videos from the incident yesterday from different angles, and at no point do we see Alex Petty brandishing a weapon. DHS Secretary.
Nor do we see Alex Petty charging the officers. Alex Petty was just there recording. He was about 10 feet from them. He never approached them. They approached him. They approached that other lady.
Christy Noam said that he was brandishing a weapon, and in the video we see him on the ground with his hands on his head. We see an officer leaving what it appears to be with the weapon after he extracted it from Petty's waist area. Did the officers see the weapon? Did they see him brandishing the weapon at him?
Sure. Many videos out there, many different accounts that you may see, that I may see, that anybody here may see. That, folks, is why we have something called an investigation, to take what you're talking about, to take those videos, to take witness statements, to take officer statements, all those minute details that will paint a true picture, not a freeze frame concept, and paint a larger picture of what really happened. That is why we investigate, so we can get to the truth, so there's not speculation. Speculation after 24 hours, you've got a lot of speculation in there. That officer, let's think of what those agents were doing on that scene, making a split-second decision. You've had 24 hours to try and armchair quarterback things. That agent had a split second to make a decision.
This is wrong, guys. This is wrong.
Between your agency, Commander.
Who's next?
And then right here.
Commander, was Alex Petty armed when he was shot?
Again, the investigation is going to uncover all those facts, things like how many shots were fired, where were the weapons located. All those facts are going to come out in the investigation. I wasn't there wrestling that assaultive subject that was assaulting Border Patrol agents. I wasn't there wrestling him myself, so I'm not going to speculate. I'm going to wait for that investigation to come. No, don't interrupt me. I'm going to wait till that investigation comes out until I make a decision there.
If there's an investigation going on and you have not concluded, isn't it possible this was a bad shooting? Or have you already concluded for yourself that this was justified?
I've not concluded anything. I've not given you a conclusion. But what I do know,
You know what's crazy, guys? And my country is very similar. This has reminded me of my country here, the way they do things here. That the investigations is made by them. So, of course, they're not going to conclude that this was a bad shooting because they're doing it. It's like if you have me investigate my brother's murder or my son's murder. I'm the investigator. Of course, I'm going to say, no, he was by mistake. This is bad, guys. This is bad right here. This is funny bad.
Is this individual was on that scene several minutes before that shooting, interfering with a lawful, legal, ethical law enforcement operation to arrest Jose Huerta Chuma. And again, it's back to choices. We just talked about choices.
All you see is him coming up to them recording, and he's still way far. All it shows is he's recording. I never saw that he got in the way. He tried to stop them. He put his hands on the officer. I never saw any of that. I did see an officer come up to a girl, a lady, and just push her to the ground, and that's where he got in, just to basically stop them.
When someone makes the choice to come into an active law enforcement scene, interfere, obstruct, delay, or assault law enforcement officers, and
none of that was on the video. None of that, guys. And I would love somebody to go ahead in the comments, if you see it, maybe I'm wrong, go ahead and send me a link to a video that shows where he was obstructing, where he was delaying, where he was assaulting law officer. He was actually trying to stop him when they hit the girl, when they just came up to the girl and pushed her to the ground.
And they bring a weapon to do that. That is a choice that individual made.
No, Commander Rubino, when it comes to the shooting, from what I understand, there were 2 agents who fired shots. We know one of the agents had 8 years experience, and we know he was a less lethal instructor and had his training. What did the other agent, what was his history, and are they both working right now, or are they on administrative leave?
All agents that were involved in that scene are working, not in Minneapolis, but in other locations. That's for their safety. There's this thing called doxing, and the safety of our employees is very important to us. So we're going to keep those employees safe. As far as the number of shots, the number of agents involved.
So those agents, usually when things like this happen, they usually take them out for a while, right? They're on administrative leave, or they put them on something. No, they're working like nothing happened. They're already saying that this was justified.
That, again, is going to come out in the investigation. I'm not going to speculate on who did what, when they did it, how they did it, or what exactly occurred there. I'm going to wait for the investigation to let me know what happened.
Did have 8 years experience, so we are talking about one of the agents.
Yes.
Not talk about the other who shot as well.
Because before those facts come out, we need to ensure that we're talking truthfully and accurately. And before I speculate, I'm going to talk truthfully and accurately.
Between your agency, Border Patrol, and Mr. Charles, your agency, ICE, we've now seen 2 separate people shot and killed by your officers within 17 days. Do either of you plan on taking any accountability for those actions?
2 suspects, or you're correct, 2 suspects have been shot, and suspects that assault, delay, obstruct, or threaten a law enforcement officer's life. It goes back to the choices that we just talked about. When individuals make poor choices, poor decisions, come into a law enforcement situation, an active law enforcement situation, conspire to come into that situation. Whether that's based on ideology, we don't know. That'll be in the investigation that we just talked about. That's what we base those split-second decisions on, and our law enforcement officers are safe. They managed to come home at the end of shift. And, again, I would implore upon any individuals, whether they're anarchists, rioters, or anyone else that thinks it wise to go into a law enforcement scene to disrupt, to delay, is to don't do that. Let's think about that in terms of, say, a bank.
I would love for him to have played the video. Watch the video. Why didn't you play the video in front of everybody? And so that you can actually tell all of us that, or show us where he obstructed, where he assaulted, where he delayed. I want to see that video.
Bank robberies in progress, and the police are taking care of that. And then you decide to go in there and perhaps take action. That's not a good.
What about the lady that was pulled out of a car? She wasn't. Was she an agitator? She was going to the doctor. She had a doctor's appointment. They pulled her out. They broke a window.
Idea in any form or fashion. The same thing with Title VIII. Same thing with Title VIII enforcement. We are after an individual with a very serious criminal record. We don't need any help. Thank you.
Why, guys? Why is there the need for this chaos, guys? This is something that has just spiraled, guys. Guys, as I understand, Barack Obama deported a lot of citizens, and we never saw this, guys. We never saw this. Like I said, I am not on anybody's side. I'm just calling it how I see it, guys. These people, their objective is good. Their objective is good. They want to arrest illegal immigrants, some sex offenders, which I hate those people. Those are the people I hate the most in the world. Sex offenders, child predators. I'm all for it. Don't even deport them. Execute them. That's what I think. ICE should do their job. Border Patrol should do their job. But it's the tactics, guys. The taxes. They're operating their tactics. They're operating with impunity. And they're reckless, guys. ICE and Border Patrol are reckless, and they need to turn the volume down. This is not the way. It's going to go where it's not. It's already going where it's not supposed to go. This is bad. Before they catch other immigrants to do the job they're supposed to do, but they're just running through everybody. This is not right. Killing people, assaulting people. I don't know, guys, but we need to do better. Guys, let me know what you guys think, man. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like button. Any donations to my channel will be greatly appreciated. My PayPal account is on the screen. May God help us all. Peace, love, and God bless.